carnal place. Yeah, and it's amazing, yeah. Getting paper, yeah. Doing what I love, yeah.
What's going on, YouTube? So this video idea honestly just came to my head in the spur of the moment while I was just working, and I just thought, man, I'm finna turn on the camera and record a video to this. So basically, I was just reading this message, right, that I had just got from somebody in my DMs, and I was like, damn, elbow ashy. But yeah, I just got this message in my DMs, and dude told me how like my videos motivated him to start reselling, and it was hard starting out because he said it was hard doing it without no fan base or clientele, and accidentally buying fakes and stuff like that. And I really felt that, you know, because I remember when I first started, and I remember not having a clientele, not having a fan base, and buying fakes by accident, you know what I mean? Like, I remember that shit vividly, because that's really what made me become a better reseller. Is all the times I got scammed, all the times I got finessed, all the times I didn't have no one was buying my shoes, so I had to figure out different ways to get people to buy. Like, all those things is what made me able to make a living doing this and able to really get consistent in, you know, this craft or whatever. So yeah, so I just thought I would tell y'all about the story about, I won't say this is my first time getting finessed, because I really don't remember if it's my first, but it was the one that stung the most. Like, this one really, really hurt. You know what I mean? First of all, shout out to everybody who sent me messages saying that I've motivated you guys to resell and to start your own businesses and stuff. I've been getting letters and messages from you guys, and I just want to let you know I appreciate all of those. And those messages is what's making me want to get back on YouTube, because I'm like, okay, maybe I have a little bigger purpose on here. Like, maybe if I'm over here, if I'm over here getting messages from people saying they're starting businesses, like, that's pretty cool, because you never know, someone could start a business and then 10 years later they didn't give up, and their business could be, you know, something crazy. They could, you know, make something beautiful out of it. So I'm very grateful to be in the position to, you know, make stuff like that happen, even though it was completely unintentional. Like, I was just making YouTube videos. I didn't know that any of my YouTube videos were going to motivate anybody. So I'm kind of stuck in the situation now. It's like, okay, now do I try to make motivating content, or do I just keep doing what I'm doing? Because all of my videos were accidentally motivational. I never once, you know, wrote on the drawing board like, be motivational for my content. So maybe I should just keep it the way it is, you know what I'm saying? Just, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know what I mean? If it motivates you, it does. If not, at least I still, you know, got the point across, whatever it was I was trying to do with the video. So yeah, so let's get into the story. So basically, here's what's happening, right? So I'm working 2 jobs, right? And I'm working 2 jobs just to invest all my money into reselling sneakers. So a lot of you guys have heard this before. So if you've been watching my videos or anything like that, you know that I was very lucky that I found 2 jobs. Well, I wouldn't say that lucky, because there was like a shopping center by my house, right? And I basically walked into every single store in every shopping center, and I spoke to them, you know, because I know how to speak. I know how to be presentable. I know how to go into these establishments and make sure they know that, like, I got a good head on my shoulders. Like, I'm not going to be in here bullshitting. So, you know, I went into these jobs, and I went into every single building in all these in this shopping centers, and I spoke to them, and I was like, can I speak to the manager? Let them know, look, I live down the street. I'm very motivated, you know, have a good work ethic. I'm not going to be here like I'm going to be your best worker if you hire me. I basically told every single building, except for this one Chinese restaurant, because honestly, they weren't gonna hire me. Like, let's just be honest. Like they weren't gonna hire me. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't go into the Chinese restaurant. But all the other stores, I went in there and I told them, like, if you hire me, I'll basically be your best worker. But, you know, I also went in there asking for an interview and stuff too. And then in the interview, I basically told them the same thing. And it's like, and they asked me why, and I told them, it's like, I got motivated, and this is what I need money, so I'm not below working, a job, sweeping floors, doing anything like that to make money. ended up landing 2 jobs, you know what I mean? So I ended up working at a smoothie shop and working as a supervisor at Rite Aid. Don't know how I got that job as a supervisor. I guess it's because the manager said she liked my cross. I told her I was a Christian. She was a Christian. We hit it off, you know what I'm saying? She was like, okay, you seem like a well-spoken young gentleman. I was like, you're correct. I am that, you know what I mean? So I got that job as a supervisor. At 19 too, on some boss. I was happy. As a 19-year-old supervisor, I thought I was doing something. But yeah, so I was working those 2 jobs and I was investing all my money into sneakers, right? So it was like, when I say all my money, I mean all my money. Shout out to my sister. I was living on my sister's couch, so you a real one for that. I didn't have no rent to pay. I helped her out with some of the utilities, but I didn't really have any rent to pay, and I could walk to work, so I didn't have to pay for, you know, car and gas until later. I was able to afford a car and stuff like that. So yeah, so I'm investing all my money in sneakers at the time, right? So at this point, it's like I'm really getting like small like beater shoes, you know what I mean? Like I'm getting like let me see if I got something to show y'all the type of shoes I was flipping. I was flipping stuff like these. Like just like some basketball shoes, no box, paying $20, trying to sell them for $40. Foam posits, same thing, buying them no box with the box, maybe trying to get them for like $40, sell them for like, you know, 80, something like that, you know what I mean? And then another thing I was doing was also, I was talking to a lot of people. I was like, oh, every single person I found that was interested in shoes, I was like, look, this is before I was even a real shoe plug. Like, it was way before that. Like, I'm talking about, like, I had, like, 5 pairs of shoes at the crib. And I'm over here telling everybody, like, look, I'm the shoe plug. Whatever you need, let me know. I'm going to get it for you. And sometimes I made profit. Sometimes I made good profit. Sometimes I made $10. Sometimes I made no profit. But I still got it to them just because I wanted them to know I'm the shoe plug. So, for example, someone in my neighborhood was like, yo, I need some Bread 11s. You know, I got him some Bread 11s. And I made some money that time. But then the next shoe I got him, it was some, like, low top Jordan 11s. I didn't make no money off of them. But it was okay because in his head, I was the shoe plug. So he started hitting me anytime. And then it was like, okay, I didn't make no money off that deal, but the next 4 pairs he bought off me, you know, I made money off of, you know what I mean? So yeah, so at this point, you know, I'm also just, you know, I'm selling cheap shoes and I'm telling people like, yo, I'm the shoe plug, whatever you need, I'll get it. And it was like, as soon as they told me what they needed, I would try to find it to them and I would see if they would pay $200 for them. And if they said they paid $200 for them, I'd get them from the dude for whatever I could get them for, ideally under $200, obviously, so I can make some profit. So yeah, so at this point, like I said, I don't have many shoes. Probably have an inventory of like 5 or 6 shoes, and I just am finding shoes for people and selling it to them as soon as I get them. Like I'm talking about, like I meet the dude up to buy it. I probably found him on Facebook or something like that, and then from that moment, I'm going straight from that place to the person's house that I'm selling it to make $20, sometimes $50. So one time I made $100 off a pair of Concords, and I was lit that day. I was really feeling like the plug. So I made $100 that time. And then sometimes I didn't make nothing, but I kept that connection alive, and it was a happy customer because they were like, damn, this nigga really is the shoe plug. Like he said he was gonna get them, he really got them things. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, damn, those were the good old days. That shit was fun, you feel me? Sometimes I miss those days, you know what I mean? But anyways, back to the point. So then, you know, I'm starting to think like, dang, like this is when shit kind of started going wild with the fakes anyways. This is when I really got hit bad with the fakes. So like, I didn't really get caught bad with any fakes until this time. Like at this point, this is the situation where I really got caught bad. Like after this, like, yeah, I was probably buying shoes of like at an event, probably buying like 20, 30 pairs of shoes. And then it's like one pair ended up being fake. I'm like, oh, damn, I gotta take the L. You know what I mean? Now I buy so many shoes. It's like, if I get caught with a pair of fake, I just donate them. Just, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't really matter. It's not that big of a deal no more because it doesn't happen that often because I know what I'm doing now. But at this time, I didn't know what I'm doing. So you have to remember, I'm not like I'm not someone who resells for a living, does taxes, and is, you know, freaking registered as a business owner and, you know, have things in my name and places and cards. Like, I wasn't that, you know, I was a complete beginner. So keep that in mind. So this is like why I know certain things now. and I know how to trust certain, you know, feelings about shoes and stuff. And like when I see something that looks off, you know, I don't even test it no more. At this point, I'm so focused on trying to build and trying to make money quick. Like I'm almost like willing to like take the risk with anything. I'm like, oh, like basically I feel like, okay, so let me just keep back on the story. So yeah, so this is when it starts going bad, because I'm started looking at other resellers, which I never did before this. But at this point, I'm working real hard with my jobs, and I'm actually flipping a couple things. So it's like I'm at least playing with a couple hundred, which at this time was a lot for me. So it's like I'm playing with a couple hundred, almost $1,000. I'm like, yo, I'm low-key going dummy. You feel me? So it's like, because this is like my own cash that I'm moving. It's like once my bank account was hitting over 1,000, I thought I was going crazy, but it was like barely. It was like $800, $900, you know what I mean? But that's a good feeling when you like, your check is like $500 and you're making it go up to like 800. Like that's a good feeling. So at this time, like, I'm like, yo, like I'm ready to really flip some shit now. Like I'm flipping some beaters. I'm like, I'm ready to flip something crazy. You know what I'm saying? Some off-white, some, you know, something fire, you know, I'm ready to flip something expensive basically. Cause I'm trying to make the big profit now. Like I done seen $20. I'm trying to make, now I went from $20, $40. I'm trying to make $500 profit. Like didn't realize the shit really don't go like that. You know what I mean? Because if you don't know how to flip those kind of shoes, you don't really have no business doing that. So look, so I'm on Mercari, right? Yeah, that's already, once you, just even saying I'm on Mercari is like, damn, what the hell is you doing on Mercari looking at expensive shoes? So look, I'm used to finding steals on Mercari at this point. Like I'm finding LeBrons, I'm finding Jordans, and I'm flipping them off Mercari. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was cool, you feel me? But yeah, so then I saw this pair on Mercari, right? It was the Jordan 1 off-white, white and blue. You know what I'm talking about? The UNC off-white Jordan 1 high tops. White and blue joints, orange laces, you know what I mean? I'm looking at them, I'm like, yo, like mind you, I'm seeing other resellers flipping more expensive stuff. And I'm thinking like, dang, like if I get these, I'm really the plug. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yeah, I'm calling myself the plug and I'm getting people's shoes, but I'm not getting no off-whites. And I had just started the Instagram, so I'm thinking like, yo, if I post these off-whites on the Instagram, I'm really going dummy. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking in my head in the moment. So then I'm like, so then I look at the price, right? Mind you, they said, I think it was like worn once. You know what I mean? They're like VNDS. At this time, the market for them was probably like $1,000, right? Probably like $1,000. So I'm looking at the price. The price say like 700 or something like that. I'm like, so I at this point I'm lowballing everybody. You know what I mean? Like I'm lowballing everybody on Mercari, just shooting like 100 offers a day. Like just whoever accepts, who accepts, and if whoever don't, I'll just move on. That's how I'm thinking at the moment. And so then I lowball, bro. I offer bro $300 on these UNC off-whites, lightly used, OG all. Okay. I'm thinking, I'm just throwing that price out there. I'm like, we'll see what happens. Bro tells me like 480 or something like that. I'm like, I'll do 350. He's like, nah, bro, I'm good. Doesn't hit me back. Then I'm like, okay. I hit him back again. I'm like, would you do 380? I think he said something like, I'm gonna think about it or something like that. And then he comes back and is like, fuck it, bro. I need the money. Like, I'm trying to get these sold. I'll do 380. So I'm thinking, at this point, my heart's kind of racing. I'm like, whoa, like, am I really going to pull the trigger? Because it's not like now. It's like, I hope the video didn't freeze and my little battery thing came up. But, yeah, so at this point, I'm thinking, like, my heart's racing. I'm like, yo, like, 380. Because at this point, it's like, remember, I'm a beginner. Like, I probably have 5 shoes. It's not like now where, like, just this little corner right here is 380. You know what I mean? And I got room in a closet full of shoes now. It's like 380 is, like, a lot different now. At this point, you have to imagine, like, imagine 380 is like half of everything you have. Like, imagine that. That's really where I'm at this point, to keep it a buck. It's like 380 is like, but I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, damn, but if I get these and I flip them for 850, for 750, like, yo, I'm gonna make $300. Like, that's what I'm thinking in my head, right? So I'm like, damn, and I ain't never made 300 on a shoe at this point. Like I be making 30 and I was making 30, 40, but like 40 was a good flip at this point. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't regular. It was like 40 was a great flip. So 300 was like had me like shook. Like I was like, yo, like I think I got to take the risk on this one. And here's the thing. At first I was like, yo, at first I'm like, I don't know. It feels a little bit too good to be true. But here's how he caught me. Here's how he caught me. He had a Nike receipt in the picture. So I'm like, okay, there's a receipt from Nike. You know what I mean? But even though now, like, okay, like now someone could show me a receipt, someone could show me a video of them purchasing the shoe, I probably still wouldn't buy no UNC Off-Whites off someone for 300 because that is literally too good to be true. Like that's too good to be true. If you don't know how too good to be true that is, that's like if someone said, yo, I'll sell you this Lamborghini for $20,000 and a Lamborghini costs $250K used. You know what I mean? Say someone says, yo, I'll sell you this Lamborghini 25K. It's like, what's wrong with it? Like, why would you do that? That's how it is. Or like someone said, I'll sell you this iPhone, $5. I'll sell you this iPhone 13, $5. That's how too good to be true the deal was. The market was over $1,000. It's like, bro said 380. I was like, so yeah. So then I'm looking, but then that receipt got my dumb ass. I'm looking at the receipt like, I mean, it is a Nike receipt. I'm looking close. I'm zooming in. I'm like, I mean, it say Nike Off-White. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm thinking. And I'm just like, okay, I might have to see because it has the receipt. And then I pulled the trigger. So I pulled the trigger, right? I get them in hand. To me, they look straight. They got the OG box. They had a Nike receipt, but his name was cut out of the receipt. But it was a Nike receipt. Like, at least it looked like a Nike receipt. You know what I mean? But as I'm holding them, I'm like, I mean, I'm thinking like, damn, are these foo? I don't know. But then even in hand, it's literally the same way. Like in hand, I'm like, okay, I already paid probably like $4 something after shipping. Maybe like, I think it was like $3 something after shipping. I think it was like $3.96 or something like that. And I'm like, I'm even in hand, I'm like, okay, they look straight. You know what I mean? The receipt's here. You feel a little weird though. Low-key smell a little weird. Like that's how I'm thinking, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, but they do have the receipt. So in my head, I'm like, okay, even if I sell them with the receipt, I should be straight. That's what I'm thinking at this time. So then, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay. Now, mind you, I got a lot riding on this deal right now because that's most of my bread. Like I probably had like $300, $400 left and like 4 pairs of shoes or something like that. I'm like, okay. So I put them on my Grailed. By the way, I was moving bricks on Grailed. On God, I was moving. I'm talking about good reviews. I'm talking about shoes. Bricks was flying on my Grailed. You feel me? Like LeBron's, old shit, everything. So look, so I post them on my Grailed, right? For a steal. I post them for like 7 something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, I ain't gonna tax them for real. Like, especially since I don't really know if they might not be food. And mind you, this is, like I said, you know what I'm saying? This is beginner reselling. Like, didn't have nothing really going at this point. Just trying. So yeah, so I post them on Grailed, right? I sell them for 7 something. I'm pretty sure y'all know where it's going at this point. I ship them to bro. You know what's crazy? I don't even think bro told me nothing. I think he got them and straight up just said they was food, and PayPal just yeeted my shit out the account. Like I'm talking about, like, didn't tell me nothing, just took the money back from the bread that I got from selling the shoe. And I was like, damn, I was like, that shit, they took that shit straight out my account. I was like, I knew it. I knew it. It was too good to be true. I didn't even get the shoe back. Bro keeps the shoe and gets all his bread back. So basically, all that ended up happening was I spent the bread on the shoe, got the shoe, did the work, posted them, flipped them, sold them, got all my money taken back. So then I lost the money that I made from the shoe and I lost the money that I spent on the shoe. So it was just L's all across the board. You know what I mean? And that one hurt. That one hurt. Cause like I said, like now, You mean like now if I lose $300-400 on a shoe, it doesn't really hurt. Like it's like I just charge it to the game and keep it pushing. But at this time, you gotta imagine like losing like I don't even know if y'all can really. Some of y'all maybe can imagine because you might have resold too, and you know what it's like in the beginning stages. It's like that hurt, because that would be like if someone like that would be the equivalent if like all of my inventory just got like chopped in half, like somehow just half of my pairs, just something was wrong with them and it's like boom, they're just gone. And it's not even like something like now, like if something happens in my house, so they all catch on fire, Lord forbid. If they all catch on fire or something, I have insurance. So it's like, we gonna get some bread back. You know what I mean? This is like, oh, you lost half your inventory, half your money. You're not getting anything back. So it was like, damn. And it was like, and at this point, I'm lost out. So it's like, okay, now I have $400. Just before this, I probably had 800 and something and some shoes. Now I got less shoes and like $400. And it's like, it's like, fuck, I'm basically starting over again reselling. That's what it felt like. But you know what? I needed that, because after starting over, then I realized, okay, if it's too good to be true, just keep it pushing. Just keep it pushing. Because sometimes good deals come, for sure. Good deals come that you don't have to feel anxious about like that. Like I felt real anxious buying that shoe. I didn't feel confident buying it. I was in there like, damn, like I don't even know. Like I was nervous to buy it. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, sometimes if a deal is too good to be true, you got to trust your gut. And that's what I learned from that. So I'm very thankful that that happened to me, even though it crushed me in the moment, because I was like, dang, I feel like I'm starting over. I worked for freaking 2 months straight just to get $800 and some, and like 4 or 5 pairs of shoes. And now I got to start over again. But it made me try harder, and it made me like focus better and be more patient. Instead of wanting, it's like just now, even now, like if someone offers me a deal that's too good to be true, it might be different. It might be 10 pairs of off-whites for something stupid low, like 10 pairs of off-whites for like $600 each, all DS. Like I'm gonna look at it and be like, okay, that sounds real good because I could sell them, but it's like, that wouldn't be worth it if I lose that bread. You know what I'm saying? It's not, so I can't do the too good to be true deals. You got to stay away from a lot of times, you know? So it's like, and all in all, it was a good experience. It was a painful experience, but a learning experience. And, you know, you can either look at it 2 ways. A lot of people give up on reselling because stuff like that happens. And then it's like, well, you give up, okay. You could give up and start something else, but something else is going to happen. You're going to face a challenge in whatever else you start too. So what you going to do, give up on that too and then start something else again? Like, nah, you're just going to have to work with the challenges. I done faced a lot of, you know, adversity reselling. First, it was just losing stuff, like losing a few $100s on the UNCs. That was bad at the moment. Then it was opening a website and losing thousands of dollars to chargebacks. And it was like, I could have stopped then. I could have gave up then. It's like, but if I did that, then it's like, what I'm gonna do, start something else. And then when I start making gains, and of course I have a little setback, I'm not gonna give up then too. So, you know, you just got to keep going, keep pushing through. Now it's like I don't know if I've reached like thankful for the chargeback situation, because them thousands did suck. And then the first time paying taxes, I didn't really know what I was doing then. I lost like 5 figures in that, you know what I mean? But I mean, I'm glad I paid it, because now I don't, you know, I can sleep well at night knowing that the government took my bread. But at least I did it, so now I don't gotta worry about them locking me the fuck up, because excuse my language, but you know, don't have to worry about them locking me up. So I like, you know, the fact that I can make it through these adversities and stuff like that, but I don't see them ever stopping. I feel like, you know, there'll be a time where I'm spending $1 million on shoes and I'm gonna lose, you know, 6 figures instead of 5 figures in a business endeavor. But, you know, it is what it is. I just be grateful for what you got, and then you don't got to worry about it. And at one point I was very, even now I'm grateful for all the money I have, but at that point, it was still like, I'm just grateful I have $400 and I can still try and resell. Like, God didn't take everything from me. It's not like I couldn't start again or I couldn't get back up and keep running it. And that's how I felt with the chargebacks. That's how I felt with the taxes. That's just how it always feels, because it's like, okay, I lost, you know, 5 figures. It is what it is. I still have a crib. I got a car, a bunch of shoes. I got a business that, you know, is doing well. Like, I have my breath. I can walk, I can talk, you know, there's really, like, at the end of the day, I still have a lot to be grateful for, you know? And you gotta be grateful for those type of experiences, you know? So yeah, that's the story though. Like, that was the first time I really took a mean L freaking, you know, selling in this business, selling shoes. But yeah, sometimes people ask me, how do you avoid getting caught with fakes? It's like, look, you gotta study on, you know, fakes, do your research before you buy shoes, and don't go against your gut. Like, if your gut's telling you this shoe is fake, do not buy it. Don't buy it, because you need to trust your instincts, you know what I mean? That's what I've learned to do. A lot of times now, there's been times where I see deals where I'm like, okay, that looks like it would be a good deal, but my instinct is telling me it's too good to be true. My instinct is telling me that the leather on this shoe looks off. My instinct is telling me this box feels fake. Whenever I feel like that now, it's not even worth it. Just think, it's not even worth it. You'll be happy that you chose to just, you know, look away instead of falling into the trap. Because most of the time when things are too good to be true, it's basically a trap. And I have other stories about things being too good to be true too. And one of them, oh my God, I might say, y'all let me know if you want me to tell you this story. I have a story about my first car that I bought with my own money that was too good to be true. That was crazy. I'm not gonna say that now because we already had 26 minutes for this video. If y'all want to hear the story time on me buying my first car and how that went, and you know, why, just another example of why you should trust your gut and not that's a funny story, and not, you know, buy things that are too good to be true. But anyways, man, I appreciate you guys for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed the little story time. I'll be selling shoes on my Instagram at Rarekiqs. I post on my story and I just be selling shoes. A lot of them go fast, you know, so it's like when I post them, if someone wants them, I sell them and ship them to them. So, or I do local meetups here in San Diego. So if you want to buy shoes, tap in on the Instagram, stuff like that. I ain't really gonna get into too much promo, but I appreciate y'all for watching, man. Signing out.
Out of town, never saw her before. Told her, baby, we don't got that long. Listen, it's not my city show.